everybody for showing up. And we appreciate you being here. It's really sad what recently happened. Some days back with Jacob Blake being shot 7 times in the back for absolutely no reason. And it's time to really pause the calls to save Black lives. So I really want people to know that in this time right now, it's really sad and it's a really hard time for everybody. But I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you showed up, given that our circumstances with the ash in the air and everything going on. I'm simply glad to see people here today because we must stand up, and I need people to stand with us. Black Lives Matter everywhere. And no one is saying only Black Lives Matter. We're trying to tell you guys something. And we're trying to tell you that our lives matter too. And so it's very important to stand with us, to walk with us, to show up, and to be there. We're going to be going into the courtrooms, into the city halls, into various board of supervisors. We're going everywhere, and we're telling them that we want them to defund the police, reduce the money that's going into them to harass us, to do all this targeting and cause all these problems that are happening in every community across the country. The problem with Monterey County that I want people to understand, Monterey County hides what's going on. They pretend like it doesn't exist. Well, my group has been very successful in pulling out the numbers to show that it exists right here in Monterey County. It exists right here at your back door, right here at your neighbors. I want to share, because this is very important to me, that we have been hidden, locked out, put out, pushed back for far too long, and we need your voices. We need your voices to say, this cannot happen anymore, this will not happen anymore. I'm not going to sit back and allow this violence to continue to happen. When you ignore us, push us to the side, kick us to the curb, then you help cause violence that is hidden from you. It's in an alley, it's in a backyard, it's in a back street. You don't get to see it because people aren't speaking up and allowing Black people to step forward. So if you have a mic, I'm saying pass the mic to Black people. Allow us the platform. Let us unwrap our story and our pains. Let us tell you what's really going on. And let us be a part of everything else that's going on too. If Black people are running in your communities, I'm asking you to please get behind them. It does not mean that they don't qualify just because of the color of their skin. They qualify. The problem is we're used to being measured up to a color rather than to our abilities. I am personally running for Monterey Unified School District, District 2 in Seaside, and I'm a parent. I'm a poor parent, and I have children in the district. I raised 9 children. I have 16 grandchildren, and I'm raising some of them now. And they're in the school district, but they're overlooked. They're set aside. They're pushed to the curb, most of us, like us. I represent over 80% of the children that are in the district that are in Monterey Unified School District. I represent them because, first of all, the color of my skin. Second, the economic status. Okay, and so, and the third thing is we're the most neglected, disrespected, set aside group of people. So I want you to know when we're running for office, there's no such thing as we don't qualify. It's been that we've been pushed out. It's been that we've been pushed aside. So it's now time to step up. Tell your friends, if you know anybody in Seaside, tell your friends to vote for Miriam Smith, because I'm running on a racial justice platform to make a difference in Monterey County, in Seaside, where most of the Black people are in Seaside. But we ran if you follow us on our Instagram, PauseTheCalls Instagram, if you follow us on our social media, that is Community 831 for Facebook, and then our other social media is Twitter. That's Community 831 Twitter. Please join, please follow us, because we're doing some work that's pretty powerful, pretty magical in this county. We have an open door in the city of Seaside to make a difference. But what I want you to know is we cannot do that without you. We cannot do that without people understanding the need, without people knowing that there's a job to do, and the job is not done. As you can see with Jacob Blake, even though he was in Wisconsin, we're right here. The job is not done. We need help, and we need your support. We need your voice. We need those that are willing to write letters, that can write letters, to write letters in, and we will inform you what's going on. We're also on not just Instagram, social media, but we also have if anybody's here that has not filled out our form for people that want to be a part of the movement, we have our email, and I want to share that's community831mc@gmail.com. Please write into us. Let us know what you want to do, what you can do, what you're willing to do. Be a part of this movement going forward. In the city of Seaside, they've already set aside $180,000 to have 3 people. Yes, 3 people in jobs that will make a difference. They will come out without a police with a gun. Yeah. Woo-hoo! Awesome. PauseTheCalls is making that happen, right? We're making that happen. And we will also be introducing to them. We recommended the type of people that should have the job, because how many people know that police officers aren't in every city is not having to speak bilingual language. So we're not going to ask you to do that to the people that come for this job. How many know that police officers do not have a degree? We're not going to ask you to do that to people that come to this job. Yeah. If you can send a police officer with a gun up to somebody's house to check welfare check, or to check on some little petty stuff, we have a list of stuff. That's why I say follow us. We'll share. We're doing presentations. Please join the presentations that we're doing. So these presentations will let you know what's really going on. Since it has not been something that the officers or the cities are bringing, we're asking for transparency in every city in Monterey County. We're asking for what the job that the police officers are actually doing to be exposed to every community member in Monterey County. There's a lot of stuff we're asking for that's going to help you see that money has been wasted in the police department, and we can refund the community, send those funds that are being sent to the police officers to come up and escalate things, to create a problem, sometimes create crime most of the time, because I've had a cop come to me and somebody was yelling at me outside. And I told him, you don't need to do that in my neighborhood. And this is how they create crime, right? So they don't like your attitude, they don't like your looks, they don't like you, they will create a problem for you. So I told her to be quiet. She was quiet. By the time the cops came there was no noise. She wasn't yelling at me anymore. And, she got a little mad because I told her, I said, you can't put a man before your kids, So, young women, they're going to go off. You say something like that. And so I said, your kids are very important. But she calmed down after she realized she couldn't rise me up with her. She calmed down. But the cops didn't calm down. When they came to my house, here I am, this was just 1.5 years or 2 years ago, so I'm still an old woman, and they show up to my house, and they start questioning me. Well, how many people know that in California there's no stop and ID law? So as of November 2013, they can't stop you and ID you. So when he came, there was nothing going on. So his job was to leave. But they create crime, they create problems. How do you know that? How do I know that? So the cops stood there and told me, well, what's your name? And I said, I'm not going to tell you my name. Do you see anything going on here? Is there a reason that you're here? I got a call that there was a problem. I still can't figure out to this day, how do you know there was no yelling when you came? How do you know who you're talking to? How do you know you're talking to the right people? I got a call that there was noise, loud noise. So therefore, he asked for my name, and I didn't give him my name. He asked for my ID. I didn't give him my ID. And he started telling me I was interfering with a police officer. He was going to arrest me for a 148. How many people know that's wrong? That's against the law. It's not okay. But for us black people that don't know our rights, he was talking to the wrong black person, by the way. But for us black people that don't know our rights, they get scared. They start bowing down. And sometimes if they don't get scared, they start bowing down. They get mad and they start cursing or something. Then there they go. They got a criminal record because the cops get mad at them and start arresting them. We're getting ready to stop stuff like that in Monterey County. We're going to work across the state, across the nation, but we're making it happen right here in Monterey County. No more cops with a gun will be showing up in your face talking about, I'm going to give you a 148, interfering with a duty of a police officer. What was your duty, sir? There's nothing else going on. What do you want to do? Oh, black people involved. Now you want to pursue it to another level. That kind of stuff, if somebody else comes up to you about a loud noise or disturbing the peace, that kind of stuff will go away. Nobody with a record, nobody goes to jail. How many know an arrest is an arrest? Once they arrest you, it's on your record. But many people are privileged to not have that happen to them, but when it comes down to black people, once they arrest a black person, it starts a different kind of record. It starts this setup kind of record, like, oh, we got them now. Yeah, you got them in the system. Now, every time their name comes up, you give them another fake charge. You got them in the system. Now, every time their name comes up again, you give them another fake charge. Before you know it, I was just on a prison line this morning as one of the speakers, and one of the young men said he was doing 25 years for an ounce of marijuana. And so, black young man, of course. And so, when these things happen, how many know that's horrible? That's horrible. We can't allow these things to happen, so we have to do something about it. And that's what our team, 831 Action Teams, we are pausing the calls, pushing the agenda, pause the calls, to stop all this brutality toward people of color, toward black people. Pause the calls is simply to save black people's lives. But how many people know that if we're saving black people's lives, we're saving other lives? We're saving lives. The minute you work on me, it's automatically working on you. The minute you help me, it's automatically helping you. And something very important about our country, and then we're gonna start some chants. And so I have some young people who are gonna come stand behind me. That we're gonna start some chants, and the young people are gonna be here for us. So I want to share this one thing with you all, because this thing is very important in my mind, and it's been coming in my mind for a long time now since we've been doing these protests, and that is, how many know this big old round United States? It says, united we stand, divided we fall. Are you familiar with that? Is there anybody here not familiar with united we stand, divided we fall? Well, how many people realize that America has fallen? How many people realize that? Why do I say that? Because there's a piece out of that circle, of that united we stand and divided we fall. And that piece is black lives have been dropped out of there. And when we plug that piece in, we pull the black lives in, then everybody comes in with us. How about that? Are you all ready for Black Lives Matter? Yeah. Black Lives Matter. 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 United we stand. United we stand. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
No justice. No peace. No
justice. We need to pause the calls. Yeah, okay. Sure. Pause the calls! 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 No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Trans Lives Matter! Trans Lives Matter! justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
Black lives matter.
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 No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No racist police.
No justice, no peace.
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 Pause the calls.
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 No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Pause the calls.
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 No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Black lives matter. Trans lives matter. Black lives matter. Trans lives matter. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Thank you everyone for chanting. Let's chant louder. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Defund the police.
Defund the police.
Defund the police.
Defund the police.
Pause the calls.
Pause the calls.
Pause the calls.
Pause the calls.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
No justice. No peace.
No justice, no peace.
Pause the calls.
Pause the calls.
Pause the calls.
Pause the calls.
That's right. We need to make sure that everyone even has a library for parents too. Yeah, of course, it's all the nurses, but we do need to make sure that many people as possible get parents, even if we're goals, we need to make sure our voices are as loud as possible. So one more time, louder. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Trans lives matter.
Trans lives matter. Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter.
No justice, no peace.
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 No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No peace. No justice, 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 no peace. Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Assalamualaikum, my brother.
Right on, man.
Can I get a showing of how many people actually live here in Pacific Road? All right, look at the show out. The people that showed out. Everyone that lives here in Pacific Road signed up to be a part of the action team. To be a part of the 831 action team. Are you all members? Have you gotten information from me to show up today? Just want to know. How many people got information from me today? Okay. Okay. Who would like to be a part of moving this agenda, PauseTheCalls, and helping us with this movement in Monterey County? Please, we want you to sign up. She's going to be going around with a sheet. But I am so proud to see so many people here from Pacific Road. Let's give a hand for Pacific Road people. Because we need to win this movement. The silence is violence. And we intend to stir up some noise in the community everywhere that we go. So we need you to help with that. It is so important. How many people are here from Monterey? Can I get a show of hands? All right, thank you, Monterey, for showing up. We need you. We need you. We don't want you to just show up, but what happens beyond the march? We're working on that. We're creating change, and we're making change happen already in our county. And we need your help. We need you to keep showing up. Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter.
Whose lives matter?
Black Lives Matter.
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 Okay, I'm gonna do is it called a call and repeat? I'd like to do that. It's free to have in your hands. So I'm gonna do a call and repeat, and I gotta ask, who do you want
cool.
Black lives matter.
Like it.
Black
Right on.
lives matter. What do we want? Pause the call. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Pause the call. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Pause the call. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Pause the call. When do we want it? Now. Black lives matter. Black lives
Yes, this way.
matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Pause the call. What do we want? Now. What do we want? Pause the call. What do we want? Pause the call. When do we want it? Now. 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 What do we want? Pause the call. What do we want? Pause the call. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Pause the call. What do we want? Pause the call. What do we want? Pause the call. When do we want it? Now. 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 What do we want? Pause the call. What do we want? Pause the call. What do we want? Pause the call. And when do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Pause the call. 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 When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? No justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! Black blood! Black blood! Black blood! Black blood!
This guy is definitely not happy they're here. This guy. Leon's Wins Custom Frames. Not happy they're here.
Get the information out about PauseTheCalls. In every home across the country. If they're talking about PauseTheCalls, they're talking about saving lives. Because that's what it is. PauseTheCalls is a solution. It's a more excellent way to save lives. You know, right here in our city, in our town, in our state, it is a more excellent way to save lives. It is the solution to police brutality, to harm being done to black folks, to harm being done, period. It is the solution. If people stop relying on the unhealthy manner of picking up that phone, calling the cops every time they see something they don't like, somebody they don't know in their neighborhood, if people stop relying on that unhealthy relationship they have between the community and the cops, you will find that many lives will be saved. This is the solution to save lives. This is the solution to save black lives. PauseTheCalls everywhere. And our 831 Action Team is moving that agenda, and we need help. We need help because Jacob would not have died had the cops not been called. I mean, would not have been shot 7 times if the cops had not have been called. Same with Elijah Cain. He wouldn't have died if the cops had not have been called because he was listening to music, walking down the street. Listen, we can't do anything. Like I told you the other day, you know, the cops didn't shoot me, but he threatened to give me a record. Because he showed up and there was 2 black people still there, and somebody called the cops on us saying that we were making noise. I wasn't making any noise because I know how them people are in my neighborhood. I know they'll call the cops on you in a minute. I was the only black family on the block. So imagine that. Imagine that everywhere. We pulled the record of my house, y'all. And 80 calls had been made on our address, on us, to the police. That's crazy! 80 calls in 2.5 years is crazy! That is prejudice, that is racism, that has to stop! And guess what? The calls were made from 2016 to 2019. 80 calls. I'm exposing myself because I want you to know the hard times that we have in this country, the hard times that we have in these cities, the hard times we have when racism is hidden. And it does not want to show its ugly head, but they keep playing games with us. They serve us in the hospital. They serve us in the stores. They serve us in our community. It is time to stop. And they'll call the police on us in a heartbeat. So now do you see why PauseTheCalls is the solution in our county? If you don't PauseTheCalls, lives will be continuously lost by killing them or throwing them in jail. Let's end mass incarceration, because who is it happening to? How come in Monterey County 37% of the people incarcerated are African American and we're only 2.7% of the county? Please tell me why. Because cops show up to people's houses just like they showed up to my house a year and a half ago and threaten the people. And if they don't know their rights and they don't pull rank on them like I did, then they would probably be in jail for disturbing the peace. And guess what? The judge would pull that off. The judge and the DA are no good in our county. If you go to jail for some petty crime, you will do the time. You will get the crime charge on you. It will stick. But a new law has came out in California. And that is August either the 6th or the 7th, where a judge cannot do discrimination any longer. I need to get that law. Do you remember that law, Gabby? We have that law. It just hit August the 7th, I believe. So a judge no longer can go on those little trumped up charges. That I want everybody to know these laws and teach other people these laws. A judge can no longer go on these trumped up charges that the police write up on your ticket and send you to jail. Get people on the outside talking and sending letters and talking to the judge, sending letters to the DA on your behalf, because it happens to mostly black people. It'll happen to some of the other folks when they get mad at you and they try to meet their quota and all that other stuff. But they trump up so many fake charges on us black folks, it's not even funny. There was no reason to write me up for disturbing the peace when there's a law that says I do not have to show my ID. Even if they were to take me to jail, they ID me through fingerprinting. There's no law that can do anything to me if I don't show my ID. So there's absolutely no reason except for the police officer harassing and getting angry, and we have turned our backs on it because we say, well, what did they do? Well, what did they look like? Well, did they cooperate? Not cooperating is not a death sentence, by the way.
It's not.
If you don't cooperate, does not mean you should die. Does not mean because we're not your color, you can turn your head and say, oh, that's why. Not cooperating is just that, not cooperating.
Exactly.
And you have rights to not cooperate. Anybody heard of the Fifth Amendment? You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say and do can and will be used against you. We're not teaching that anymore because we want people to cooperate or don't get killed. No, that's got to stop. That's got to stop. Cooperate or don't get killed? Have you really reduced yourself to accepting that type of mentality for our country? Is it real? Is it real? Do we cooperate or don't get shot? Is that how life is for you? Is that how life is for her, him, for the next one? Is that really how life is? Do we really have to bow down and give up our Fifth Amendment right in order to not get shot today? Please, 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 people everywhere. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Go home and hashtag PauseTheCalls. 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 Oh, they need to hear you across the ocean. PauseTheCalls. 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 Oh, I need you to say it like you really mean it. PauseTheCalls. 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 But who can do that? I already do it. Just so you know, I haven't been able to call the cops for 20-something years. Because they used to come to my house a lot, and they would always escalate the problem. But one day I got beat up really bad. And I decided I was going to get the cops involved. And I called the cops. cops showed up and they said to me, well, if I arrest him, I'm going to have to arrest you. Now, I look beat up. I was a woman. I was 6 months pregnant. I was beat up. But in the city of Seaside, where I was raised, been there all my life, the cops told me they were going to take me and the person to jail. Now, I was pregnant with my 7th child. I have 9 kids. So I had 6 kids at home, and you're going to take me to jail. Okay, this is what black people deal with. I'm going to talk to the people that might understand what black people deal with. Because I don't think y'all understand what black people deal with over here. So can I talk to you all over here? Just a minute. Okay? That cop left there, and I had to go in hiding for 6 months. Okay? I had to go in hiding because the cop wouldn't do anything about me. So I found out early. They kept rising up the escalating stuff and doing all kind of crazy stuff to us when they show up to the house. But I learned real early that they're not going to do nothing for us. They're not going to help us. So I don't call the cops. But if you that do call the cops, pause the calls, then you will find out we'll be a lot safer in this community. They don't come and support nobody but folks that's not like black folks. They might do a little something to higher echelon black folks, got a little money black folks. They're not going to help us poor black people. I've been poor all of my life. I've raised 9 kids and I have 16 grandkids. And the cops have never served me. So I guess when I say pause the calls, it's something I've been doing for over 20 years. But it's something that we've been promoting for 6 years, and we want you to understand how important it is to save black lives. We pause the calls to save lives, and that should be something that people should take home with them, is to pause the calls, because the minute you pick up that phone, I have a list of calls in Seaside. We're going to do Pacific Road. We're working on Pacific Road now. We got Monterey, Seaside, Salinas, and we got Marina done. Marina just got done yesterday. But the list of calls we did almost a week ago in Seaside, 8,000 hang-ups. You call and hang up to the cops. Now, when I was younger, and I called the cops before 20-something years ago, if I hang up that phone, guess who was showing up to my house? The cops. All this has to stop. Waste of taxpayers' money. Just a pure waste. 6,000 follow-ups. What the cops doing coming back and harassing you, following up? We don't need the cop. It's not a crime. It's not an emergency. We don't need the cop to show up. I'm talking about Seaside now. I'll be talking about Pacific Road when we get the breakdown. 6,000 follow-ups. What does that mean? What does that even mean? So the cops show up, and everybody thinks, oh, we need the cops, and don't defund the cops. And we will do a breakdown for Pacific Road of what the real need is for the cops in Pacific Road. We got it together for Seaside. We're working on Monterey and Marina and Salinas, and we've been working on them right along with Seaside. But we got Seaside pretty much together. And we will show you the need of the cops. Some of us just have an ideal of the cops because the cops have always been around. But they started off as slave catchers. They became people that would come behind peaceful protesters and violate them. They're still doing that in other places. In Wisconsin, there was a young man, Kyle, 17-year-old with a rifle, walks right through the cops because he's white. Right up to the protesters. They wanted him to kill the protesters. A sanctioned killing by the police, because the police now are on watch, even though they did terrible up there in Wisconsin. They're on watch. So they use sanctioned people all over the country that said, oh, the cops just told us we're going to just point you to them and let you go, because you know how to deal with them. Talking about the protesters, peaceful protesters. So cops started as slave catchers, then peaceful, then disturbing and harming peaceful protesters. They do a lot of covering up, and so we need to be able to vet the police, be able to vet the publicity. You know, we got news people. A couple of them was here a little earlier. We got news people that will write stories only based off of what the police officer said. Many people here know that the police officer will lie. They'll lie. I'm gonna talk to you guys over here on my right side. Do you know that the police officers will lie? So what we do as a team, and we need more people in our team that will vet the story of the police officer. We will investigate the police officer. There was a young man that was shot in 2017. 2017, and he died in 2018. He was shot running away from the police up by Seaside High. In Seaside. He was Latinx, but he was shot. Well, when he got shot by the cops, the only story you heard was the cops. But this guy, as a result of him being shot, died in 2018. Left kids behind. It's not necessary for you, as you run from the cops, you can't get too far, but it's not necessary to kill you to death. It's just not. Another young man in 2014, domestic violence call on him. He gets out the car. Same police officer in the city of Seaside, Fernandez. Turns around, shoots the guy, don't turn on his camera. We gotta demand cameras be on. Another Latinx life lost in the city of Seaside. Because they shot him behind his ear and up in his neck. Same officer that shot the young man that's running and shot him in the back. Shot him, and when that officer shot him, he had did it before his people showed up to witness it. Now why am I saying this? Because I said vet the stories that come out. You got the newspaper that'll say anything they want to say about this stuff. And we're sick and tired of this. Because they're destroying the person. They said he had a machete, but they didn't check the people around. Only the officer said he had a machete. Only the newspaper said he had a machete. But he had a baby in his arms. A little baby in his arm and was shot by the cops. Imagine that. Your life not worth nothing. Imagine that. This stuff got to stop. This stuff has to stop. This young man's life is lost, taken away from his family, probably was the breadwinner. All because a cop didn't want it to be itchy. We got to demand that these officers have a drug test done. How you out there serving us, shooting and killing us, drawing your gun on us? You need a drug test done. The minute that happens, a drug test needs to be done with these officers. Now I know for sure officers in Seaside have been on drugs. Y'all need to check your officers out here. Minute they use their gun, a drug test should be done. That young man's life should not have been lost holding a baby in his hand before witnesses came that were other fellow police officers, even though they cover each other. But before other fellow police officers showed up and never turned on his body cam, and it's been known for years now, since Vicki Myers was the chief of police in Seaside and then the chief of police here in Pacific Grove, she got the body cams for everybody to wear a body cam. We need to demand that if they kill somebody, shoot somebody with their body cams off, that is a violation for them. It's a violation for the police officer. Whose lives matter?
Black lives matter.
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 No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
What do we want?
Pause the call.
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 When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice! No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
Black lives
Matter. justice!
No peace!
Black lives
Matter!
Black lives
Matter!
Black lives
Matter!
Black lives All right, we're getting ready to start marching right now. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
No idea where they're going. That'll wait.
Justice, no peace. No 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 justice, no peace. Black lives matter. 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 Black lives matter.
It's just in traffic.
No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Pause the calls. What do we want? Pause the calls. What do we want? Pause the calls. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Pause the calls. What do we want? Pause the calls. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. It's gonna be a lot. Y'all be ready.
I gotta give you a shot too.
We love you too.
One more time.
This is not over. Please don't stop showing up every time you see. Show up. And when you see what PauseTheCalls is doing in the community, continue to show up. We say defund the police. It does not equal abolish the police. But when we show that it is a waste of money that they've been putting in police departments, you will want them to abolish the police. Abolish the police. I'm going to let my grandson say something to you, and I'm really proud of him, but I'm running for the district because of how we are underserved in the school district. So, and we need more support black people running, please, because we have been pushed aside way too long.
So, good morning, or afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I am on a timeline, so sorry. So, let me share you a story that I have myself because of police. I was 14 and I was selling candy with my grandma, right? And this fat white cop comes up to me. This white cop comes up to me inside his car. He said, "How old are you?" I said, "I am 14. He said, "Once you get 15 and older, I swear to God, the next time I see you out here, I'm going to put you in handcuffs and put you in jail." I was like, what am I doing?
Being black?
I ain't doing anything. I have no jacket. I have a jacket on, but I have no hoodie on. I'm selling candy so I can go places. And I can make something of my life, but I'm going to jail for making something of my life.
That's not right.
I'm confused. People have been calling on a lot of things that don't need help. And they don't need a cop. But they're just scared. We can actually probably slim down the situation so we won't have to call the cops. And if that doesn't help out, then you can call the police. If you can't calm down the situation by yourself or somebody else, then you can call the police. But there's a lot of sad stories like my grandma's, and a lot of sad stories that we don't hear because people are scared. And there's a lot of young people that are not out here because they're scared. It's very sad. They're scared of these police that put on a costume, but my skin is not a costume. My skin, I can't take off. But if I wear blue, if I wear red, they will shoot me down because I'm gang affiliated. That's just my fashion design. But somehow I'm gang affiliated. If I wear a hoodie, I'm stealing something. If I'm walking on the street, I'm selling drugs. So many things that people think of black people. If I'm getting arrested, I am a bad person. But I didn't do anything, so how am I a bad person? I don't get it. It's very tiring and sad. So many scars I have on me because of the racism, because of my ancestors, and because I have a speech impediment, and I have dyslexia. So when I talk, it sounds very weird. But when I'm trying to explain something to someone, it takes me a long time. But if I don't explain anything to them, they're going to shoot me down. It will take me too long. So many people dying this year. So many black people dying this year. It's so sad. I don't get it. I'm confused over here left in the dark because people don't want to tell me anything. Most things I hear from my grandma, I hear from like other people. They don't really say it in school because they say, yeah. And once we are doing, okay, this year I'm doing America's history. And I looked all through it. I see no black people in it at all. And most stories they have is Martin Luther King, or they have Harriet Tubman, or they have the person that gets on the bus. They have no other stories about any other black people inside there. There's other people that got on the bus. There was a special. So many stories that I'm missing from my black history. I don't get that education. And I don't understand why. These black young people need this education so they can learn how long their ancestors had to fight to get their rights. Because these black people don't understand. They're just like, oh, I'm so happy and glad that I can go to school. There's a lot of people that can't. Lots of people. But you're happy and glad. You should be mad and sad that people can't go to school. People your color can't go to school. So sad. But I guess I passed my time limit, so I have to give this up to my grandma. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you we need to hear from young people, because they suffer and their mouths are closed in school. They're not able to talk about the issues and the problems that happen. So we need to hear from young people. We need to encourage them to talk. Whether they have a disability or not, we need to encourage them to talk. So when people started encouraging me, people know that I graduated from school. I told it when I was here the last time for a protest. I graduated from Seaside High, right here in Monterey County, not being able to read, write, or understand written language. I was well late into my 30s when I went back to school. My sixth child was 2 years old, and I had 9. And she happened to be standing right here with me. She was 2 when I decided to go back to school and get an education. But how many people know it took me about 10 years to learn how to formulate that stuff, because, you know, they actually dismissed us and not treated us right in the district. It was all covered and kept under the rug, because, you know, we still got those teachers there today that will do the same thing to our children today. So I graduated and I fight for him. He's in school. How do you make it all the way from the 1st grade to the 6th grade and you're still reading at kindergarten level? In Monterey Unified School District. Okay? Well, I graduated school. Okay? Not being able to read past 1st grade level. And not being able to write or understand written language. So when I did go back to college, of course, I could not understand a lot of things. I just couldn't get capitalizing the first word to the sentence. It didn't make sense to me. None of the pros and nouns and none of the adjectives, nothing made sense to me. Understanding how to formulate a verb and where I went. I just talked. Just listen to me talk, let me say what I got to say. But there's a way that people will listen to in this language. And you need to understand how to formulate that language. But that was taken from me in school. They said I was special ed, got a high IQ. I teach people with an education now. Been doing it for years. I was always talking to, when I got out of school, I was always talking to people that were older and seemed to be smarter than me. But I'm what you call dual exceptional. So, and I have several kids and also grandkids that are dual exceptional. So we're gifted. My son was in school and he went all the way from the 1st grade all the way to the 6th grade and couldn't read past 1st grade. And I said, something's wrong. They're not going to do this to him like they did it to me. And so I wanted to do something about it. So I had him tested, and his IQ was 129. The next time I had him tested, his IQ was 130. Because, you know, how many people know that IQ is racial bias, and they don't do it to black kids unless you sign for it? So I decided when he was in the 1st grade, I was going to do everything I could. 6th grade, I'm so sorry. I was going to do everything I could to get him in Chartwell right there in Seaside. And so I took him out of school. Homeschooled him for a half a year. Raised a little bit of money to get him in there. Got him in for the summer, and he went from the 1st grade to the 2nd grade level reading. And then 3rd grade struggling. He could read almost at 3rd grade level in 6 to 8 weeks of their summer program. Put him in their regular school, and he went from where he was at in the summer. I'm going to just show you how Monterey Unified School District will ignore their children. He's only 21. But he went from the 1st grade, from reading at that 2nd grade level solid to reading at a 4th grade level in the 7th grade. 3rd and 4th grade level in the 7th grade. And then from the 8th grade, he went to reading at a 7th grade level struggling. And he was at a solid 5th grade level at Chartwell. But you know, Chartwell's not open to black folks. He was one of the only blacks there, and I was blessed to be able to get him in there. Had a few little black people. Mel Mason, I don't know if you heard of him. Another lady that worked on their board to get my son in there. They didn't want my son in there. But it made a difference if you teach our children in the school district. If you teach our children in the school district, and the way you teach our children, it makes a difference. How do you have dual exceptional children? Dual exceptional mother had his IQ test. He has a high IQ, the one that just got through college. But he made it from the 1st grade to the 6th grade, not being able to read past kindergarten. We've got to stop this in our school districts to our black children. It's very detrimental. People don't expect me to come out not being able to read, write, and understand written language. And I always got to. I'm dyslexic, so I get things flipped up backwards. So I can't talk with a smooth tongue, and I can't talk charismatic, and I can't do all that stuff, but I get my message across. I sure hope so. I get my message across. So I can't give you that real silver tongue type of talk, because somewhere in my speech I may flip it backwards, because that's how I see it. It takes me a long time to write than it probably takes you all, because I'll notice that I write a whole sentence and I'll see it needs to be flipped back around. That's laborious enough. Why should they ignore you in school so you don't learn anything until you get out of school? And guess what? They got paid for me to go to school. They got paid for my son to go to school. They're getting paid for him to go to school. Enough is enough in every system that holds us back. In every system. Can somebody hear me? Am I talking to myself? Every system that holds black people back, enough is enough, and I'm sick and tired of enough. Been enough. I've had enough of it. How about you? Help me say we've had enough, and we're not taking it anymore. The system has to change. So I am not ashamed to run on a social justice system. I am not ashamed to run for office on a racial justice system. I want to run on a racial justice platform because I mean business. And I don't think nobody's ever been bold enough to run like me before to say, enough is enough. Anti-racism, step to the side. It's over in Monterey Unified School District. Help me say that in other districts. Help me say that all over Monterey County. Help me. I'm going to work out Monterey Unified School District, but help me, please. We need to make a difference in Monterey County. Our black children are suffering. I've watched them work the numbers, been wanting to get on the school board for a long time. But our black children are suffering in the district because of systematic racism that's covered under the rug. Now check this out. I was on the school board meeting the other night, listening, and they're starting the or some kind of African-American thing back over again. But guess who's running it? Why are we harmed? It's being ran by white folks. How do you know our pain? How can you unwrap our pain? How can you tell us what's going on? How can you be our eyes? How can you see through us when you don't want to deal with us? When we seem to be your problem. We're different. Respect our differences. Everywhere that we go, respect our differences. Accept our culture. Accept who we are. We're different. But how can white folks lead the story behind the problem that deals with black folks? How can they lead the story? They can read the story, but give us the mic. If you have a platform, pass the mic to somebody black, please. Let them unwrap their story. Let them talk about the pain. Let them help you understand how you're missing the mark. How you're setting us to the side. How you're pushing us down and pushing us back. Let somebody black tell the story, please. That's bold enough. That's willing. That will speak up. Let somebody black tell the story. Pass the mic, please. It's time. And allow me the platform. Let me stand on the platform. Let somebody black stand on this platform. It's hidden right here in Pacific Grove, the way they treat the kids. It's hidden in Monterey. It's hidden in Carmel. It's hidden everywhere. It's hidden down in Salinas. Tell me this, you guys. How come Monterey County has the highest poverty level among children in the United States? Per capita. How come? How come? Anybody know? I don't. Yes, it's mostly over there in Salinas, but it's a $9 billion industry in Salinas. So when you say farm workers, you got $9 billion over there, right there in Salinas. You know why? Because we're good at covering up. We're good at acting like there's no problem. We're good at ignoring. We're good at being silent until it just keeps creating damage for other folks. Long as it don't reach our home. Long as it don't reach our neighborhood. Long as it don't reach me. We're good at covering up. Let's stop being silent, please. Let's start talking about the problem. Let's pause the calls. Get behind pause the calls. And let's make a difference everywhere that you go. Everything that you do.
Yes, ma'am.
I need your help. I cannot do this alone. And I'm not alone. I got soldiers behind me. We have thousands of hours in. Thank God for Matt right here. He's good. Matt broke down. Yes. He broke down. We got the information from the city of Seaside. And how many people know Matt broke it down?
Yes, he did.
He got it broke down. And I was like telling my girls, hold up, hold up, hold up. Matt wasn't listening. He just went on and broke it down and shot it to me. And I was like, but I just want you to know we're doing some damage in Monterey County. We're making some things happen. And we need your help. We're showing up. Police officers everywhere. We don't hate cops. We don't hate cops. So don't go tell that lie. You know, if you tell that lie, whisper it to your mama because it ain't true. But it's not about that. We tired of our money being spent on putting us in jail. We want to stop recidivism. We're tired of our money being spent in locking us up and mistreating us in jail and abusing the folks in jail. We want to end mass incarceration. We're tired of our money being spent on picking up our kids, picking on our kids, stopping them and taking. Did you know that police officers will stop your kids on the street and take their pictures? Teach your kids that's wrong. That's wrong. They will stop your kids on the street and take their pictures. Why? They look suspicious. Well, every black person looks suspicious to the cops. What? They're indoctrinated into a system that tells them to watch the black folks. And y'all tell the truth. If you get hired at a store, they're going to tell you to watch the black folks. Come on now. You know how it goes. Let's stop covering this stuff up and start making changes in our community. And we can do it together as a team. We have more power than you realize as people. All we have to do is come together. All we have to do is stand together. All we have to do is say, yeah, I had enough. Because we are not the majority in this country, but we're the majority in the police in trouble. We're the majority in the jails. We're the majority getting criminal records. We're the majority. And thank God Matt has broken down for us for the city of Seaside. And now you have Miriam broke down now, right? We're breaking it down, you guys. We put thousands of dollars into breaking it down so we can show everybody the joke is on them. To keep paying your tax money for something that's not real. You've been paying into a box. And it's just been eating up your money. And it's time you wake up and understand that you don't have to pay for a cop to run up to somebody's house. We can save half the money we're asking them to defund the cops in Seaside by half, defund the cops in Monterey County by half. We can save half the money. They don't want it to happen, but you, the people, getting behind it can make it happen. Yeah. We can't do it by ourselves, but you, the people, getting behind it can make it happen. Let's end the abuse in prison. These prisoners are being so abused in the prison. It's unheard of. Let's end that abuse. You guys think, oh, they prisoners, they deserve to be there. No. These cops will write up stuff. They'll put 15 charges on you. Most of the time, 4 or 5 charges will stick because of the racist judges, the racist DAs. It's the truth. It's the truth. We have a young man that just got released from prison after 29 years, and they know he was set up. They know he was set up, but they put him in jail anyway. Others in jail right now, they know they're set up. We're gonna start recalling judges. There's a new law out on the judges now. We're gonna recall judges. How many people know that Panetta sets up a lot of our black children in this county? Panetta, that's a judge. Leon Panetta's wife, that's a judge. Oh, no, don't go home and hide your head now because you love Leon and let his wife keep doing damage. Don't go home and cover up now and don't come back out your house because you love Leon and let his wife keep doing damage. I'm asking you to help me stop the damage being done in our county. And if we recall some of these judges, and even recall the DA if she don't do her job and line up, because we're watching them. I'm asking you to help me vet these folks. I need folks that'll keep calling. Like Gabby, she won't give up. Like Matt, he won't give up. They see things, they want things done, they don't give up. Like Caitlin, she won't give up. We need to keep calling. Audra, our media person, she's gonna take your picture. She ain't gonna give up. She's gonna make sure. She's gonna vet these people. We need people that won't give up. Thank God for Matt's wife being by his side. Thank God for all of you. And I want to leave you with this. Pause the calls to save Black lives. Help me do that, please.
Thank God for you, Miriam.
Thank you, Miriam.